Good evening. Welcome to the Selectmen's Meeting for May 21st, 2019. Roll call, please.
Wayne Miller present.
Donna Klein present.
And Sue Licio is present. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And this meeting is being tape recorded. It's not on the agenda, but it is. And do we have any additions or deletions? I have none.
Nope.
Public comment period, seeing none. I'm assuming there is none. There are none? Are no comments, yes. 2.1, I'm going to just let you read these. How's that? Oh, it's Dawn! I'm so used I'm so used to going to him. Go for it. 2.1.
Alex Shimon? Is that how you pronounce it? Shimon?
So you're moving to appoint?
To appoint to the Recreation Commission effective May 20th, 2019 for the summer recreation program contingent upon the passing of a medical exam in Cory check.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions on that?
Nope.
So is May 20th the start of the recreation?
I think it's this week that they're looking to start people up. I don't know if the program has begun
For
yet, but.
training or whatever?
Yeah.
No, the program doesn't start till July.
Yeah, that's right, too. So why May 20th?
I'm sure there's a lot of prep to do.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
2.2, appoint Kevin Smith to Town Properties Committee. Don?
Make a recommendation to appoint Kevin Smith to the town's property committee effective May 21st, 2019 to February 29th, 2020.
Second.
And that's a motion to appoint, right?
Oh, okay, sorry.
That's all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Jim, when we do these appointments, do they go out to the people? Does a letter go
It
to
does,
them?
yep.
Thank you. 2.3, appoint Dennis Murphy to the American Flag Committee.
A motion to appoint Dennis Murphy to the American Flag Committee effective May 21st, 2019 to June 30th, 2020.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3.1, Certificate of Appreciation Acknowledgement from the Nashua River Wild and Scenic Study Committee. Would you like to read that?
Yes, I do. I have from the Nashua River Wild and Scenic Study Committee, the certificate of appreciation presented to the town of Townsend, Mass. In recognition of the dedication and partnership in successfully achieving the designation of sections of the Nashua, Squannacook, and Nissitissit rivers as part of the National Wild and Scenic River System. Celebrated on this day, the 28th of April, 2019.
Isn't that nice?
And we will have a formal one to frame up.
Nice. Thank you. You don't need anything on that, right?
Nope.
3.2, approve, sign the following one-day special liquor licenses for Paul Martin VFW Post 6538 at 491A Main Street. 4. In conjunction with the birthday party on August 3rd, in conjunction with a wedding on August 10th, in conjunction with the 25th wedding anniversary on August 25th, in conjunction with the bridal shower on August 24th, and in conjunction with the birthday party on September 28th. Just a little shout out to them. Thank you for getting these to us early. That helps. So you can make a motion for all of them, I believe.
Absolutely.
I make a motion to approve and sign the following one-day special licenses for Paul Martin, the VFW Post 6538 at 491A Main Street, for the birthday party on August 3rd, 2019. Do you have to read the sales too?
Can we just do the whole thing and just say as listed?
As listed, yeah.
Yeah, you can just say as listed.
Shown on the application.
Okay, birthday party in conjunction with the wedding on August 10th, 2019, in conjunction with the wedding, 25th wedding anniversary on August 25th, 2019, in conjunction with a bridal shower on August 24th, 2019, in conjunction with a birthday party on September 28th, 2019, with sale hours as listed on the applications.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
More copies when you get a chance.
Might as well take some time and just sign them.
I'm writing as fast as I can, Madam Chair.
I'm going to take just as long as you are, so probably not very interesting for the audience.
Watching ink dry.
Watching ink get signed on paper, but a song comes to mind. I didn't promise you a rose garden.
Lynn Anderson
Yeah.
was the singer.
Hmm?
Lynn Anderson was the singer of that song.
Really? Wow.
What do you, the guy from Jeopardy now?
Full of the useless knowledge. Can I have permission to just look
Yeah.
at Sarah Bellino's most recent?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure those are all set. I'm assuming the new one that was on the desk is the most recent, but thank you. You want some?
Sure.
You can get started. Okay, Jim, put them in a safe place.
Over here.
3.3, discussion regarding priority list and work sessions. We have lots of work to do. Did you guys do your homework?
It's very similar to mine.
My list looks similar to yours.
Mhm.
Did you take a look at my list?
Is the list?
Yeah, I just got it.
Okay, yeah, I know, I just finished doing it on paper today.
And no, I did not get to do it before I left, and since I just returned.
Yeah, you still have, what do you call it? Jet lag?
Yes, I do.
I can't find my list.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you. Okay. Jim, do you have any additions that you can think of just off the top?
Yeah, just the grant administrator position. Just
The
make
what?
certain, the grant administrator position.
Thank
Just wanted
you.
to make certain that that's kept on the radar screen. So the job description is in draft form right now. The idea is to try to get that out the door before your next meeting, next week. And we'd have funding in place as of the following week, but it's going to be obviously a month or so before we are able to take applications in for any consideration.
We have funding in place for,
Grant administrator position as of July 1st.
as of July 1.
Right.
Okay, all right. Well, that should work out okay.
Oh, I did have another one.
What did you have?
Recording of time.
Actually, I think you were going to talk about that.
Yeah, I saw
I think
I
we're,
saw the report come back.
Yeah,
I hadn't,
but-
obviously, I wasn't here, so I didn't have a chance to sit with Anna and go over
what
it.
I had asked is if he would make a recommendation,
Okay.
but where he just came back. I wasn't expecting it tonight,
Okay.
but, okay.
It's just to have it on
Time
I just wanted to-
recording.
on the radar screen, yeah.
So
And that's time and attendance, call it,
Yeah,
because that's the module's name.
yeah. And so, just to let folks know what we're talking about, and I just put down a number saying what I think is the most important to start off with, but that's open for discussion, certainly. Is there anything there that you don't think is a number one, or that you think should be a number
I
one?
think the IT should be number one.
You want IT
Yeah,
systems.
I have agree with Wayne on that
So
one.
let's make that a 1. Anything else stand out?
Goals. Or are we using this as our goals sheet?
No, in order, you mean to start talking about goals for
Yes.
next year?
Yes.
I've got under my report later, review and revise, discussion. on
The
review and
existing
revise.
goals.
Existing and revised towards,
Okay.
I mean, this is a newly
As long as it's on our
constructed
radar,
board,
that's
so.
fine.
So I'm going to put a 4 and goals for next year, okay? Goals for 2020. And that'll, hopefully we don't have lots of things that we're carrying over, but if we have things that are carrying over. Anything else? And I have 3 things scheduled. Discussion about, well, I guess that's going to be like a police negotiation, right?
And we're still waiting to hear back from
wait.
Brad.
Okay. Cable access update, Kate will be here next week.
She will, yep.
Executive session to discuss the fire chief contract strategy / negotiations is on for next week. And those are the only ones that I had.
I have copies for you
Madam Chair, this evening of the final RFP on HR consultants.
Excellent.
So I have that here, in one of these piles in front of me. I also have for you tonight off your list here, the addendum to the TA employment agreement reflecting the 2%.
Oh,
Effective
good.
July 1st, just so
Excellent.
there's something on record for
Excellent.
that.
That was up the top.
Yeah.
Personal contract negotiations update with the 2020 pay increase, right?
Correct, yep.
So we can do that. We didn't schedule that one, but,
You've already voted it and in public session, so it's been adopted already, so it's merely administrative that you'd be signing it, so.
okay. Actually, we can sign it any time then.
Yeah, and I do have copies of the town accountant's contract revised with the changes that you had requested at the last meeting. We discussed it, highlighted
Excellent.
with the
Excellent.
new color printer that now actually can show highlights, so.
Isn't that nice, huh?
Welcome to the
Excellent.
90s.
Where did the other one go?
Out of sight, out of mind. I presume it's been repurposed to some other location in
Okay.
the town. Actually, I didn't have one.
I was ju-
No, that's it. I had one that came over here, and I was just using the big printer.
Oh,
So now
oh,
Now I
okay.
actually have.
You have it.
Yes, I have a printer that.
Nice.
That produces color. So
Excellent.
it's not going to be anybody and everybody burning color ink, just as needed.
It does help with reports, though.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so we'll pick away at the old business stuff and try to get through all of those, and then do the same for this. I have to make lists or I forget things, so I hope you guys don't mind my being anal about this.
On the old business, Madam Chair,
Yeah.
I have an email out to Mr. Turgeon regarding an update on the trees at Craven Field.
Excellent.
So when I get that response, it'll be forwarded off to you folks. I have a copy of the audit report from Neshoba in hand now, so I'll have that on your desk. So at your leisure, you can come in and peruse that. The conservation admin position that Lindsay Butler previously held had been advertised now. We've received one internal applicant looking for consideration and I think 6 external applicants.
Okay.
So I'll have an update for you at your meeting next week on that as well.
Excellent, wonderful. Okay. So, just for the benefit of anyone who's watching, we have several things having to do with contract negotiations, cleanup, such as Jim mentioned about making sure that the raises for personal contracts are reflected in with those contacts. I know. Maybe you could take care of that, though.
It just did.
And update on all litigation by town council. Is Adam going to be able to stay next week?
Well, it depends on what litigation you're looking for updates on. I mean,
Well, just in general, just to give Dawn an
but I
update,
think.
unless you guys have already talked.
We have, but I think the majority of the issues are actually insurance counsel, not town council.
That's true, yeah.
So the things of substance that I think would be important for Don to come up to speed on as a new member would really be insurance counsel. So we could arrange to have them come out and give the whole board the latest and greatest, or we could do a conference call just with Don and I. And if he thought that there was anything that he'd like to discuss with the board in total, then we can agenda it at a subsequent meeting.
That's not good. I don't think it's going to be anything new from our perspective. So
you're
I
up
think
to
maybe a
speed.
conference call with the three of you, just to
Yeah.
catch you up
Something
on.
When it works, and
Yeah.
I'll get them on board.
Okay.
Anytime next week would work. I'll check my schedule before I leave.
Okay, good.
But that would work. So that's good. You guys are going to do that on your own. See that? We already got some stuff crossed off. I love it. DPW committee still technically exists. My understanding is that nothing really got resolved and all that.
Hasn't, coming on 2 years, I think, since there's been a meeting. There was kind of
Yeah.
a deadlock at the table with the group that was then appointed. So maybe a request that they either meet or even through the chair, of the committee, signal their intention to the board that they either be authorized to continue, and they amp it back up, or that they be discontinued. But we can reach out to the chair of the committee and look for their guidance on whether they think there's still some work to do.
I mean, if it's not going anywhere, I just don't like having committees hanging out there, because then 3 years later, people say, what was that?
Right.
Okay, so if it's not gonna be, it's not gonna turn into something, I'd rather know it now and just disband it.
Was it an open-ended appointment for this? or-
Apparently
It
so.
was. It was. Yeah, it
And
was
it's
born-
from before I got on the
yeah, it
board.
was born out of the DOR, a DOR study that came in, actually Division of Local Service, DLS study that came in saying that there could be efficiencies realized if the departments consolidated. And it.
You know what,
it-
let's put it on an agenda, a future agenda then.
And invite the chair.
Not necessarily, just get an update and then
Okay.
report back.
Gotcha.
And we'll vote on it at that
Okay.
point. You can give an update on where it came from and all that.
Gotcha.
And all of our contracts are opening up for 2020, and we do still owe you, Jim, the job description to finish that, your job description,
Yeah,
and
it's expectations.
expectations. And the last that I saw was, golly, 1st of March is when we met with Kate.
Right.
And gave her your consolidated thing. I sent her a note, I haven't heard back from her yet on that one. But do you have the electronic version of what Wayne had worked on?
I don't think I do.
If I do,
Yeah.
obviously.
Or if not, when I speak with Kate tomorrow, I can just have her dust it off and
Well,
pop it
she
back to
doesn't
her.
have it electronically. He gave us a copy
Okay.
by hand,
I sent it?
a hard copy, I thought. Could you
I
just,
don't know if I sent it to her or not afterwards, I can't remember those.
could you just distribute it to
Mhm.
Jim?
Excellent.
And then we all have it for when we take that up again. And that's about it. Okay? So I'm going to save this. If you'd like, I'll update it and send it back to you, Jim, and then you can just distribute it.
Absolutely.
Anything else on that? Okay, the other thing that we wanted to talk about, I wanted to talk about with you guys is, we have substantial policy stuff that needs to be talked about. And even thinking about, the TA job description. This is not something that you can just do in the middle of a meeting.
Between licenses and.
Between the regular business. And so what I would suggest is that at least once a month, we have an extra meeting that we call a work session to work on things like policies.
As long as they stay just work sessions and we don't get,
No, they're not gonna have
Because we got
anything,
money.
it's gonna be a single topic,
because that.
okay? Because if we need to spend an hour or two on that one topic, you can't deal with all of the other stuff,
No,
too.
and that happened a couple of times, but I know we scheduled work sessions and then you get the agenda and
Yeah.
it's 2 pages long.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be the first thing. Work session is just a work session,
Absolutely.
okay? It's no, the public is certainly invited, but it's a single discussion at a time, or 2 policies at a time, that
Right.
kind of thing. Does that make sense? Okay, all right. So the next question is when? Do you want to keep it with another Tuesday, or do you want to do a different day? Is there another, do you want to do it Tuesday and Thursday in the same week?
Thursday's a little tougher for me.
And I know we can't do
That's
Wednesdays.
out. I can do Fridays, I can do Mondays, or pick another Tuesday, I really don't care.
I can do Mondays, I can do Fridays.
What would you prefer? I can do either.
I'll concede to whatever works for Wayne.
Mondays are better for me, just
Okay.
to-
So we'll say a Monday. Okay, so there'll be,
Would it be best to
Maybe
pick
on the
like the
off
second
week.
or the third, or, yeah,
yes.
the off and
Because,
meeting?
because
Yeah.
we're scheduled for first and third.
Right.
Okay, so if we say the second Monday,
that's fine.
is that gonna work? Second Monday then, Jim, okay?
Gotcha.
Because then we can use the next meeting to.
Ratify or, yeah.
vote in.
Yeah, that's right, it'll be ready for the agenda. Okay, good. Then we can start marking those off. And the only other thing I wanted to mention there was the, if you guys were interested, the MMA new selectmen thing. I know you didn't get to go last year.
Yeah, I'm all registered.
Good, okay, all right. I thought I was gonna go, but I might not be able to, we'll see. I haven't registered anyway. They always have new stuff there, I really enjoy those, but I've been before, so. 3.4, discussion of town meeting, specifically regarding charter requirement for attendance of boards, committees, commissions. I just want to share that I was a little bit annoyed that, well, let me first read this. It's in Chapter C of is the charter, Article 2-8, Section 8. Every town agency shall designate at least one representative to attend all sessions of town meeting at which warrant articles pertinent to that agency are or may be taken up for the purpose of providing information to the meeting pertinent to the articles. If a person designated as a representative is not a town resident, they shall, notwithstanding, be allowed to speak to provide the meeting with pertinent information. It disappointed me that there were questions on the floor, or from the floor of town meeting, that there was nobody there to answer those questions. And I don't know if all the boards and commissions are aware that they need to send somebody. Now, it says articles, but the budget is an article,
And the revolving fund.
and the revolving funds are articles, okay? So anybody that has anything to do with money, certainly, should make sure that they send somebody to answer the questions.
Okay.
So I can, Madam Chair, if it pleases the board, I can put this out to all boards and commissions and then all departments through the next department head meeting next week to make certain we get double coverage in that regard, so everybody's aware. It's the charter, people should be aware of it, but maybe it's been a while since people have dusted it off.
And we've got some new folks, too, that might not have been required to do that before, so that it's understandable, it's just not acceptable. So I just want to be prepared for whenever we're talking, especially about budget. I wouldn't mind if you put a cover letter on that from us,
Absolutely.
just as a reminder. Any other comments on that?
No.
3.5, review, approve, sign a proposal for engineering and construction services, amendment number 1, West Townsend, West Meadow Road water main replacement. Jim, I'd like you to,
Yep. As of about an hour ago, we have concurrence from council that of the documents before you for consideration, the change order for SHEPCO regarding the bridge is authorized by council, approved by council for your signature. The others are not. There's still some wrangling going on about the insurance requirements. The
The engineer doesn't believe certain insurances should be required of them, and they're
And
not-
council is saying,
And council saying that they were in the RFP, so regardless of what you think, we have to hold true to what the RFP said, so they were at a standstill about an hour ago on that, so we don't have council approval on the change orders for West Main or Main.
I have a question. The 3.5 says West Meadow Road water main replacement, and then the other one says Main Street water main replacement.
Correct.
So there's two different projects? Are they considered the same project?
They're not. They're two different votes, two different funding authorizations.
Okay.
So two different projects.
Okay, and I believe one of them had some easements or,
Yeah, the kind of outlier issue is the Main Street project. There is the need for an easement taking. It's a friendly taking. The owner, property owner has agreed that it'll be allowed. What's not contemplated in the contract scope of work for the engineer is the recording of that easement.
okay,
Town council has
That's
said
what I
that once the documents are signed by the parties, anybody in the town hall can drive it to the registry and record it. So she didn't think it was necessarily good value to pay the engineers to do that.
okay. So we're going to pass over, if you guys don't mind, pass over 3.5 and 3.6, because it sounds like we're still trying to clean up the paperwork on that.
Okay, there's one more I have one question.
Sure.
On here, it says West Meadow, but if you look at the document, it says Meadow, which is a different street.
It is West Meadow, I can tell
Okay,
you that.
then they need to correct that.
So
So can you send that off to
Absolutely.
council as well, please? I'll let you make that note.
Gotcha.
Thank you for picking that out.
So that's 3.5, Don?
Correct.
Meadow Road, gotcha.
Just as in, by way of explanation to you, Paul had asked, he had sent a lengthy email, and I said, what do you need on the agenda? So he gave me these three things, and I said, as long as we have all of the information by the time we come to vote on it, and everything's approved by town council, we'll go with it. So we're still pending on 3.5 and 3.6. Jim, can we put those tentatively on next week?
Yeah, I just want to check email one last time, and
Yeah.
that is still.
Okay, so
the issue.
we're going to put those on the 5/28 meeting. And 3.7, therefore, is what we're taking up. To review, approve a change order in the amount of $6,000 for additional bridge repairs. So I would need a motion on that.
And the motion would be moved to endorse the change order as presented for Main Street Pump Station Access Bridge Replacement.
Okay. Make a motion that we approve? Is that right?
Execute, yeah.
Approve the change order in the amount of $6,000 for the additional bridge work for the Main Street Pump Station Access Bridge Replacement.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
I have a question first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We didn't build contingencies in this quote like we've done with other construction projects?
In this bridge project, to my knowledge, when it was scoped out, there was no contingency built in.
Okay.
This was the price. You may remember some of the history on it is that Paul sought and received a waiver from the Division of Capital Asset Management, releasing him from the strict requirements for bidding because of the emergency nature of being able to get access across to the pump station. With that, I think he wisely just went out and sought quotes, got hard quotes, and went forward.
But this had to do with the bridge breaking.
Right, there was damage to the,
And that's the reason I'm asking for contingencies, because you don't know what you got until you start doing it. So I guess my recommendation moving forward, if we start doing these projects, is we should add that in as a,
each, and just for the record, to be clear, each of the projects that I brought before you that we've done on the general government side, we have contingencies built in.
Yeah.
So this is something that
It's
We
probably
can't
more,
scope it.
yeah, it's
It's
probably.
weird. You sign it, but you don't have the authority to scope it,
Right.
so. But we can convey your concern.
I mean, stuff happens.
Yeah.
I get it. If we don't spend it, that's fantastic, but, so, that's my only comment.
Thank you. Any other questions?
No, I have just that I agree with Wayne.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion vote regarding selectmen involvement in union contract negotiations. I'm bringing this up because we have a new member, and I just wanted to, bring it up because I wanted Dawn and even Wayne, if you are interested, we don't have to have a selectman on the negotiation team, if you will. I expressed an interest in it, and so the board voted to say, yes, I'll be the selectman representative. But if either of you are interested in doing that, you could do that too.
I keep my original opinion.
Okay, thanks a lot. Dawn, are you interested in sitting in on the negotiations?
As a matter of fact, I would be.
Oh, okay, well then I'm glad I asked. So, how do we do that?
I would strongly advise not having a quorum of the board at the table, because anything that you say will bind.
So we could
Yeah.
take turns?
For consistency, that gets difficult too.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Perhaps if you have a particular interest in one group or another, you
That's
can
a
divvy
good
them,
thought.
maybe even along your liaison lines, if that's something that works.
That's the thought. Is there anything in particular you're more interested in than others?
Public safety.
Really?
Could have guessed that right.
Shocker.
Well, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, they used to say that on the school committee, the worst school committee members are lawyers or teachers, so. That's what the superintendent's union used to say anyway.
Well, in that case, I'll defer my liaison duties for contract negotiation, public safety to Don.
Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The only question I had, if I'm not mistaken, is that usually when you're at the table, it is usually the town administrator that does, and even though you're at the table, you should not be speaking unless you go out of the room.
My experience has been either the administrator or manager is at the table and is the mouthpiece and functions without a member of the board, or if there's a member of the board by vote of the board there, that it's that, in fact, that you caucus. But again, for consistency of message, it's one mouth that's speaking.
Right.
Yep,
The
that's fine.
last board that was convened when we had contracts open, one member was selected for that function, and we did just that. I get a tap on the shoulder, I get, the look, and, we take a recess out, and in advance of the meeting, we spend some time prepping on, all the angles and expectations, so, yeah.
And what if you run into like say you and I were sitting on one, and there was a question, I don't know about this one. Would we in between come back to the full board for advice
Sure.
as to that?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean.
I just want the process to be
I
transparent.
mean, I did bring this in advance of the executive session, anticipated for later. I mean, standard ground rules, and these, you'll have been familiar with them in municipal government. The very first of the ground rules, the parties at the table have authority to reach agreement, subject to ratification of the parties. So we can sit at the table and we can come to a tentative agreement, which is an issue that we currently have before us. But it's just that, it's a tentative agreement unless the union goes back and ratifies and the select board convenes as a full board and ratifies.
Okay.
So if that occurs, we're sitting in the room, even if we're close to the deal and something just gets a little bit funky, nothing's real until it's real.
Okay.
So we come back to the board and we say, hey, this is a little bit different than we had contemplated, but it still works and it gets the deal done. What do you guys think?
Or this raises a little bit of an issue, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
Right, okay, all right, sounds good. Do you want to vote on that?
We had one before, so it'd probably be good to have one now that it's going to
Okay,
be.
so I'm going to move that Don Klein be the union negotiation representative for public safety, and would that include highway? I mean, it's technically under
Yeah.
public safety.
Yeah, I mean, they're.
So that would be police, fire, EMT, and highway water.
Yep.
Okay?
Second?
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Betty, did you need something?
I just had something about the water.
I think we have it. I think we have it.
Yeah, we have a big long one.
I just made a sign too.
Okay.
Did you want us to read the whole thing, or,
Anything you
Is
can do
that-
would be greatly appreciated.
okay, you could give, Dawn a copy. It's okay, you can come in.
And hopefully some of you will be joining us on Sunday.
We will try.
Thank you.
Thank you,
So
Betty.
that's for later. Thank you.
Welcome.
So 3-8 is done. 4-1. Jeez, almost, huh? Update on community compacts. Oh, town administrator, go for it.
Yep, the community compact on personnel, best practices, that round of grant funding doesn't open for application until August 15th.
Oh, okay.
So we have time. So the timing works out well for us, given the fact that we have the RFP out with the existing appropriation in hand to take the first bite at doing some of the groundwork with a consultant on our own dime.
Okay.
And then whatever we're not able to accomplish in that first round, we'd be going into the compact for. And it makes our application look stronger, given that we put skin in the game up front.
Okay, excellent. What else have you got?
The approved goals and revision of goals, obviously I was away last week. I saw this when I got in on Monday morning, so I don't have anything to say to you tonight about the old goals, but I do hope that we're able to make that a higher priority than maybe even the 4 that the new goals got, and have that front-loaded as one of the earlier work sessions, just so we have the full year to really dig into things.
Sure. So, maybe the second work session,
Excellent.
okay?
Gotcha.
Hi.
Hello.
We're almost done with our part. Special town election schedule. I had a concern about, we got a note from Adam as to when, and the way that I read it, and I did not get a reply back, but the way that I read it, we can't do it when we had originally thought.
Yeah, my understanding, having read the same material, the trigger for all of the timing is when the town clerk is given notice. And she technically received notice the night on the floor that she recorded an affirmative vote. So we are able to do the June 18th,
18th, that was
June
it.
18th, if it's still your wish.
Okay, as long as we're sure,
I
because
think-
the
I
way,
think
that you
al-
understand the way
do,
that I was
do.
reading
The
it?
alternate, though, puts you around 4th of July week, and you're not going to have...
Well, no, it would be between 4th of July and just after Labor Day.
I'd keep it where it is, because school's still in session. People
All right.
People will still be here.
Would you verify the dates with him?
Certainly.
Please.
So we don't miss a beat, if you wanted to vote to set the election for June 18th, contingent upon confirmation from council that that is within the law. That way
Okay.
there we can get it done,
Excellent.
not lose a week. And it does require a 2/3 vote to put it on the ballot.
What do you mean? By us?
Yeah,
We have to be 2/3 anyway.
just telling you what he wrote.
2/3 is a quorum. So do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we set June 18th as the date for the special town election,
For the debt exclusion
for the
vote?
debt exclusion, sorry.
Contingent.
Oh,
Oh,
continue.
sorry, contingent upon,
Confirming with
Confirming with town
that
council.
that is compliant with the law.
right, town council, yes,
Second.
What he said.
whatever.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor? Aye. Just to announce, there's a vacancy on the Board of Health. If anybody is interested, I'm assuming they're taking volunteers, or volunteer applications. Clerk of the Board, announcements for events.
Yes, I can either read the short one or the long one.
The short one should do it.
Okay. Townsend will observe Memorial Day on Sunday, May 26th. Please join us at the St. John's Catholic Church from 10:30 a.m. for Mass. VFW Park for the start of the West Townsend Parade is at 1:30 p.m. And Spalding Memorial School for the start of the Townsend Center Parade at 2:35 p.m. And there will be a band concert on the Townsend Common starting at 4:10 p.m.
Thank you. Can we get that? I think it's on the website already.
I believe it's already, but I'll make certain.
So if anybody forgets the date, the times, it's on the website. Board correspondence, we got a little bit. I got an email regarding the text messages to vote for the marijuana articles that some folks in town had received, and rather than just answer that person, I thought it probably deserved an answer from us. Those text messages were paid for, not by the town. They were not sent out by the town. I don't believe that we have people's phone numbers to be able to send a cell phone text anyway.
No, there are companies that do this, and you can buy this information, and that's what was done.
Exactly, and that's what happened. So somebody marketing the marijuana, hoping for more participation from communities, paid somebody.
Full disclosure, I got one too.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, be careful when you put your cell phone number on something.
Well, it's funny because I got a call from somebody that, their 8-year-old son had gotten a text, and I said, well, you better go check all of his security settings, because if you're not careful about how you share your information,
If you sign up for a Disney app on your phone and put in your cell number.
Your cell
you've-
phone number.
You've given that up.
A trade show or a fair or something like that. You sign up
that's
for
why
that.
I personally don't do any rewards programs. And the reason I don't is because I worked in marketing and I did the data matching. So I know what's available, and you can go through 5 or 6 different pieces of information to get to the one that you want,
And-
just by matching.
In relation to that point about the handout that was passed out at town meeting, that was not from us either. Anybody can screen grab a seal and put it on a piece of paper and say it's town of
And I
Townsend.
question the legality of them even doing
It
that.
is not legal without the authorization of the town clerk. That's a mass general law. Nobody is authorized to use a municipal seal without the clerk's
That might
approval.
be a letter from Adam to that.
Certainly. On this point, Madam Chair, there were 2 young gentlemen sitting
In the
to
visitor
to our
section.
left in the visitor section, young bearded. One of them is actually the president of a pro-marijuana advocacy group, and he made himself known before the meeting, saying that, I understand that the town's getting blamed for some of our marketing. He apologized. He said, if you thought it appropriate, he said, I would write something saying that, we are the ones that did it, that we are hired by companies in this business to do these types of campaigns. So I wanted to state that out there publicly, so if you thought there's value in getting a writing from them.
So he's raising his hand and saying, use a town seal, huh?
He was talking about the
Okay.
text messages.
Yes, I know.
I didn't get his get as far as the document with the seal. In fact, I didn't see that document until somebody waved it that night on the
didn't either.
floor. Yeah.
Okay. Unitil tree plantings, I assume they are getting underway?
They are. They're, John, when John and I last talked about this, when you brought it up a little more than a month before town meeting, you last talked about it with me. He said that they'd have a plan and they'd be ready to come before the board sometime early summer to let you know where they're going and what they're doing. So.
Well,
you
the
just-
only thing I'd say about that is that if you plant trees before it gets too hot,
Sure.
they tend to live a lot longer. So
Gotcha. Would you like to schedule them to come or just ask for a report? Or
I'll accept a report. I don't know, how about you guys?
Yeah, that's fine.
With you, if you plant trees in July, they generally don't live very long.
So they have a arborist on there. I would think that
Yes, they
that
do.
that arborist would know that, so. Land use coordinator position.
I'm sitting with bated breath on this one. I have no idea what this was on the agenda
Well,
for.
Carolyn and I did a search, and it was funny because I called and I said, somebody's questioning, did we do a different job description or whatever for the land use coordinator? Because there was something in the
Town meeting book,
in the book.
in the budget
In the
title.
budget book that referred to it as land use administrator. And when I called Carolyn, it really was comical because it was like two people just bent on, we're going to find this.
Yeah.
And we finally did. And it was in the budget itself.
So it's as the
It was a
budget was coded.
typo.
It was probably as it was coded when the
Yeah.
chart of accounts was created.
That's right. So it's probably in the accounts.
Yeah.
That it never got changed, and nobody, all of the people that had gone over the budget, all of the meetings that we had with FinCom, all of the people at town meeting, nobody noticed it until afterward. So,
It's never registered with me in the now 4 budgets that I've done. that
yeah,
it said
so you
administrator.
might want to see if
Yeah, no, we'll
she
get-
can
we'll get the
change
chart of
that
accounts changed.
description.
Absolutely.
But there has been no change in that position. No new job description, no new responsibilities or anything, okay? So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that that did not happen. Okay, review approved meeting minutes for a whole bunch of them. Dawn, I know you weren't here for some of them.
Yeah, I was not here for almost all of them except April 24th.
Okay,
So I'll do those.
yes, but there are two, Jim, how do you want me to handle? There are two I'm not ready to sign yet. I have questions on.
You could
March.
you could move the list as presented with the exception of, and just call out the 2 dates that you want held out.
Okay. Actually, why don't we just skip them? March 5th and April 18th. They need more work.
The 18th, there are 2 sessions, so both sessions.
It's the 10:30 a.m. session.
I move the board approve the meeting minutes from March 7th, 2019, March 19th, 2019, March 26th, 2019, March 28th, 2019, April 2nd, 2019, Session 1, April 2nd, 2019, Session 2, April 8th, 2019, Section 1, April 18th, 2019.
No, we're going to skip that one.
Oh, it was on here twice, that's right, I'm sorry. Strike that one.
Session 2 is okay.
And Session 2, April 23rd, 2019.
Did we do that right?
No, Session 2 is for the April 18th, so it's just April 23rd, 2019.
Oh, that's how I read, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. Strike that, April, and the meeting minutes from April 23rd, 2019.
And then we'll do the 24th separately, 24th and 7th, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm assuming you're abstaining?
Abstaining?
Okay, and the next one, Don can read.
I make a recommendation, we approve the minutes of the meeting of April 24th, 2019,
And there's another one.
In May 7th.
and May 7th, 2019.
Second.
I cannot vote on the 7th.
Well, you weren't there.
I wasn't here.
Okay, so the 24th then. Just the 24th.
Yes.
And you seconded the 24th?
I did.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I move that we approve the meeting minutes for May 7th, 2018.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. With Don abstaining, Don?
Yes, I do abstain.
Okay.
I'll get the hang of this yet.
Yeah, so will I. 4-6, review and sign payroll bills payable warrants.
I make a motion that we sign a payroll and bills payable warrant out of session.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we have 3 executive sessions. We just read them all, and we will not be returning to
To the-
open session.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, executive sessions pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for the negotiation with non-union personnel or to conduct collective bargaining session or contract negotiating with non-union personnel, reference town accountant. Executive session pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position or litigation position, and the chair so declares,
She does.
reference clerical union. Executive session pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position or litigation position of the, and the chair so declares.
She does.
Reference strategy session for all union negotiations.
And could I suggest that we handle the clerical union first?
That's fine. Second.
Moved and seconded. And you said not to cut.
Not to and we will adjourn from executive session, not returning.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Wayne Miller, yes.
Don Klein, aye.
And Sulicio, aye. And that'll do it.
I ask for 2 minutes?
Yes, you may.
So we're all set?
Yes, we are.